of them. I've got maybe 20 of them left. And we take that and we just take one of those Ember Valleys and then just, smear it all over the joint and then we smoke it. So
no, yeah, that's a good time. I mean, it's got to be innovative, especially when you got so much stuff going on.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, see, my friend, I am so spoiled.
Oh,
God.
yes. Yeah.
I hate to admit that, but I am. God,
especially in the cannabis department, for sure.
Oh, jeez. I mean, the cannabis thing, that's what I'm talking about. All this, it's raining. It's just raining cannabis. Right? Like Raining Men, that song, but it's raining cannabis.
The 420 bag, what did you think of the 420 bag? It was just an abundance of things.
Our last bag?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it was that was one of the best ever.
Yeah.
One of the best ever.
What did you get? What did you end up getting?
Oh, shoot, all kinds of good stuff. I got a lot of flour, which I was happy, because my friend that I'm visiting out in Palm Springs tomorrow doesn't have any. So
they don't have any flower shops out there?
Oh, they got plenty, but he's broke.
Okay.
So it was post-divorce and getting back on his feet, all that kind of stuff. And
where's he moving to? Is he moving out here?
Just up the street. No, he loves the area. He loves La Quinta. And he works...
Really?
He works, 4 months out of the year, the place is hell. But 8 months, it's beautiful.
Really? 8 months?
Oh, 8 months, man. It is nice. And he works at PGA West. So... he's like a golf manager. He just drives around and makes sure in a little cart and makes sure that everyone's on time and following protocol.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool.
How'd you first meet him?
Oh, we went to high school together. He lived just a few blocks this way, actually, which is interesting.
And that's where'd you grow up at? Where's start?
Well,
we started by
Santa Ana.
We started already.
All right, done.
I feel like we were just.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. That's nice. Because the other time it felt kind of rigid and ready, let's go.
Exactly.
But now we're just sort of sliding into it, and now I have a much better idea of what we're doing.
Exactly.
Right.
Because it was a little rough last time, considering that too. That I invited someone.
I didn't really expect Brian to come by, but the thing about my friend Brian is that I don't see him very often anymore. So I said, "Come on by."
Of course, no, I had no problem with it, but now it's here. Now I got you all to myself.
I know. See, this is way better. We're both far more relaxed. And just chilling, my friend. Just chilling. I hope you're able to relax. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the house.
Beer,
and
hey,
to us, right? To Whedon for bringing us together.
Whedon and Ease.
And Ease now. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Your question. You threw something at me.
So you grew up around the.
That's
County
right.
area.
Actually, until I was 11, I lived in Santa Ana, 17th and Westminster. There was a little neighborhood just north of that. It was like a U-track, Strawberry Lane, and then it turned into Huckleberry on the other side.
Okay, and compared to now, like, how do you see the change in just your childhood from now? Because you've been living in Orange County your whole life, right?
Yes, born in Anaheim, 1957.
Born in Anaheim.
Yes, sir. I'm an Angel fan. I always thought you were born into a team.
Really?
So
it's a city
I was
thing.
born into Anaheim Angels,
Well, you had to do it, I was from a rural area, so the Dodgers is kind of like what I went with.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's a little contradicting right now, but
Yeah.
I'm not willing to start a fight if you're not.
Yeah, no, that's very funny. That's very funny.
Those Dodger fans get a little rowdy, but
I'll say seriously rowdy.
Have you seen lately? I think the last game they had, or like the last series they had, they actually started a fight, in the parking lot.
That's too bad.
Was it like that, like growing up during like?
No, that was rare. That was rare. You got the occasional drunk who's screaming at the umpire or something, right? But not like beating somebody up to where they're in a coma or dying or dead.
They're in the hospital.
Okay, woo-wee, that's life changing. Come on.
That's traumatizing for people around too.
Oh,
you
God,
can imagine,
dude. It's not just him or her; it's the collateral damage. You're right. Yikes.
How's it? So do you still go to Angel games?
Oh, I do. I just went 2 weeks ago tomorrow with Brendan, my friend Phil, and my friend Marlon. We
Oh wow, for you guys.
Yeah, I called another friend. He's a dentist, and he has season tickets. And sometimes if he can't make a game, he'll sell them, like most people.
Wow.
Only his tickets are 8 rows behind home plate. Right.
Oh, okay. So you guys got some good seats.
Oh, dude, you should have seen Brendan's face.
Yeah,
he loved it. He was happy.
I saw he posted on Instagram.
Oh, did he really?
Like,
oh.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Like
I was happy
time.
to share that experience with him and Phil and Marlon. It's always a good time. A special occasion.
Well, definitely for me, it was always going to games rather than actually watching them. When I was growing up, going to the game was so much more fun because I got to see the players. Even if I was up in the nosebleeds, I'd be like, oh, my eyes would be all wide. Like, there's Andre Ethier or Russell Martin, But as I grew up, watching it on TV became very, I guess I don't know, stimulating. It wasn't very stimulating to me anymore. So do you still fairly watch them? On
I
TV
do, yeah, because it's simple and. I'll just watch the first inning or two if I'm lucky.
Okay.
Do
you do it while doing schoolwork? I'm
sure no.
Oh, okay.
But I do channel surf a lot. I'll just I'll come back to them, see what they're doing.
So for everyone listening, Lawrence is still in school. He's been going to school for
my whole life.
Your whole life,
just about. If you look at it that way, because I did the typical thing that most people do. Grade school, 1 to 8, and then 9 to 12 in high school, and then went to college a few times, or undergraduate at Loyola in Los Angeles, and then I transferred to UCI and got a degree in biological sciences with a minor in chemistry. And then after I wanted to go to medical school. I wanted to be a doctor. And I couldn't get into the U.S. This was 1981. So I left the country and studied medicine in Mexico. Yes, I did. And I took my Scottish wife with me. And so that's when I knew that she loved me, because she went to, oh my God, dude, there was no hot water.
Yeah. Oh my
Sometimes no electricity. There I am heating up this great big copper tin, pan with hot water. And then she'd kind of, get in there and...
That's love right there. Huh?
Oh, that's what I said. I said, holy cow. And now even more, you look at that and you're thinking, God, that was quite a statement.
So when you moved down to Mexico, what city did you end up going to?
Well, at first, I went to school at a university in Tamaulipas. That's from Texas. You know how Texas comes to a point, right? Comes down. Well, 250 miles south of there is Tamaulipas. Well, that's the state. And then Tampico is 250 miles south, and there's a university there, and I went to school there. But that was pretty far away, and it was pretty wild. And 1 month after we got there, I think it was Hurricane Andrew came through.
Oh,
and
wow.
Holy cow. I'd never, obviously, so cowboy, right? I'd never seen anything like that, right? I just remember before it came, I was watching, we had this little tiny black and white TV, right? And they're showing candles, they're showing matches, batteries, and I'm thinking, wow, what the heck is this all about? Tape up your windows, right? And I'm thinking, oh my God.
So do you speak Spanish?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. So
I understood.
You understood what was going on?
And I thought, oh shoot,
something's happening.
This is going to be crazy. And,
how scared were you? I mean, I'm sure you were nervous. Right?
Well, the only thing, the worst thing about it was we were in a basement apartment. Right,
okay.
So the water
flood.
You're right,
and
so God. It didn't. But man, that was a scary proposition.
So you ended up living. So you're living in a basement under a house.
Yeah, basement.
Was it like an apartment? Oh, so it was
there was a house, and then in their basement they converted it, put a bathroom and bedroom, and a little living room and stuff, and it worked out fine. So I lived there while going to school with my wife, Lori.
And it was like University of Tampico, or was it just...
yes, yep. And then after I realized that, that's just too far away from everybody. This is no good. So I looked for a closer university, and there was one in Ensenada, Baja California. So I transferred to there and spent the next 5 years, I guess, hanging around there.
Was it a same thing? Was it like a basement apartment, or were you living?
Oh, no. There I have family, right, in Ensenada, right? Way back when, my grandfather, back in the 1920s, he came there with a brother and a sister, and the brother and the sister stayed in Ensenada, but my grandfather said, no, I want to go to the U.S., so he did, right? He left them there. But so
is your father's dad, or is this your mother's dad?
My father, right? My father, right? This is all on Dad's side. And let's see. So the brother and sister, brother Leonard and sister Matilda, they stayed there in Ensenada and had their respective families. So there's a lot of Ciordias in Ensenada, right? Not many here, more than I understand, but it's a rare name, you know.
So living in Mexico was the cartel pretty like prominent there?
Oh, back then, no, not at all, zero. No.
You know, I forgot to ask, and I know I jumped right over it. But what did you study, and while you were going to medical school?
Medicine, specifically family practice. I liked radiology, so I did some extra radiology work. I just think it's the most amazing thing to be able to see into the human body.
And radiology at the time was like X-rays and stuff like that.
Yeah, now it's nuclear medicine is what they call it, right?
Wow.
It's way beyond. Back then, for me, it was just X-rays, you know. And I'd do silly things like X-ray a baseball or X-ray a guitar, you know, just to see what it looked like, you know. And it was fun. It was always a trippy thing.
Yeah, you don't need any lead for that either. You know, I had to put lead on the kids.
Right. Yeah.
Right, because you guys use lead, right? That's what you guys use in the vests and everything?
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, you're protected. Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get through medical school at
4 years.
4 years? And is that
and
typical?
Then you do an internship. Yeah.
Okay.
But see, if I'd have stayed in Mexico, you are required to do a 5th year of social service. The government sends you to a very poor part of Mexico, and you work there for 1 year.
How'd you feel about that?
I left. As an American,
okay.
I had a choice, right?
Okay.
But if I was Mexican born, then I had to stay and do that. It's called social service, right? Your servicio social.
And these are like villages in Mexico,
sir.
right? Yeah.
Way in the hell and gone,
like
dude.
Southern
I'm telling
and all
you.
That. Where have you ever
Anywhere in the country?
Have you ever visited any of those villages? Like
yes. Oh yeah. As a child, I vaguely remember, but my parents traveled all through Mexico, and I had no choice. You know, I had to go with them. So at the time, I was, you know, kind of blown away by the food and the sights and sounds and smells and stuff.
I've never been to Mexico, and I can only imagine what it is down there. I mean, I'm half Hispanic, and I don't know how I haven't been down there.
Yeah,
yet.
me either.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
Yeah.
You would enjoy it. It is weird and wacky now with all the cartel presence and stuff. They really are running the country, but
I have a friend who's actually. Not too long ago, I think about like 5 years ago, they said that they were actually stopped in the middle of a freeway and were like asked to pay. They were like, "You guys need to bribe us to actually go."
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, sometimes they have a person on either side and they'll put up a rope, right, so that you have to stop, and you stop, and then they'll just ask you, "Hey, you know, it's $50 to get through here." Hey, take it. You know,
you don't want no trouble.
No,
at that point, right?
zero.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm retired. I just want to have a good time here.
And what? And you've dealt with that before, going to Mexico?
Oh, regularly.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Unfortunately, corruption is just a part, but it's not just Mexico, as we all know. Every country in the world has corruption problems, you know, but Mexico is a particularly stellar example. So, I mean, I've gotten stopped at airports and had to pay hundreds of dollars to leave the country. And just all kinds of weird crap.
And like, let's just say you don't have the money. Well, like, what would they? I know you haven't
they'll let you go.
It. Oh, they will?
They'll give you a hard time, you know, or threaten you as much as they can. But in general, they don't want any trouble either. You know, bad press, right?
Oh, I mean, cartel just got bad press written all over.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But these are cops. You know, most cops,
too.
right? That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
but no, the cartel people. No, goodbye.
Just kill you.
They don't care. You know, I mean, I was talking to our security guard, Orlando, about that. And he's from Zacatecas. And he says the cartel people have pretty much taken over the town where he's at and many of the bordering towns, And it's the same thing. You got to pay to get in. You got to pay to get out. Like, wow. And they just control the food coming in. They control money coming in, leaving. I mean, it's really something.
And you said, did you have to deal with any of this during
No, when I was there,
practice?
zero.
Zero? So
No, this was way before any of that stuff. I'm lucky.
Oh, wow. And then after your 4th year, so there was no practicing up there. You went back to the United States.
Yes, I came back to the U.S.
Orange County?
Yes, absolutely. Buena Park. Yeah.
Okay, so
that's pretty much where the family is rooted, Buena Park.
The Soria family?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Gramps moved there in 1921, and we've been a presence in Buena Park since.
And is that part of the strip mall that you actually...
Yes, the strip mall. Well, what he did is the lots at the time, were $50, $75 for, what are they, 125 by 60? So, they're big lots. And so he would, as he could, he would just buy a lot and then another and another and another, and all side by side. So he owned... a block this way, block this way, block this way. And he, gave it out to brothers and sisters and cousins and, whoever needed someplace to live. Hey, here it is.
And at that time, was it pretty desolate, or were there houses still?
They're dairies. At that time,
Dairies?
that whole
Oh, wow.
area was dairies, right? And it smelled... And I mean, it smelled horrible. During the summer when it got really hot, oh man.
Flies too, I can only
Terrible.
imagine. I used to live by I'm from a farm town called Beaumont. I know you think...
Yes, yeah. Oh, I love Beaumont.
Well, Hemet is 20 minutes, I think,
it
north
is.
or something.
79,
south.
I think. You can take 79
Exactly.
south, right to Hemet.
And you're going right to the cow farm. So, I know what you're talking about, and that smells.
Yeah, I
going on.
remember.
Oh,
I remember
it's
driving on
vicious.
79, heading, except I was coming the opposite way. I'm heading towards the 10, towards Beaumont. And just that, I saw the dairy and I saw all these cows. And behind, though, were mountains just filled with snow. Beautiful. Looked really nice.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I stopped, to take some pictures. So I stop and I put my window down. Oh, my God.
It's vicious, huh?
Right? Okay, maybe I'll take the picture with the window up, right? Click.
Sorry, kids, you're going to have to see it a little.
Yikes.
But yeah, that's, oh my God, I can only imagine. Just the dairy farms that are out here. Oh God. Just taking me back to driving by there.
Oh, that's interesting. How funny.
It's so bad.
That's wild. Yeah, it's very particular. You don't forget.
So when you moved back up here, did your father actually, or did your grandfather actually, was he still alive? Did he give you a
he
house
died.
or something?
No, he died in 97, 98, something like that. Grandmother had passed away in 91, I think, so a few years before that.
Oh, okay.
But the house that I lived in, my dad built. He bought a lot, and he it's kind of a funny thing. There was an army installation. What those guys that they're part-time every month. National Guard. Okay, well, they were selling some of stuff like bunkers and houses and stuff. So he bought this kind of a military little building, and he had it moved over to that lot. He just poured a foundation and then had the house sit right on top of it, right? And then from there he built it out. He said some weeks after work I'd only have maybe $10, so I'd go get two 2x4s. And then, bam, bam, bam. But over years, he eventually built the whole house, right? Incredible.
Kind of sounds like your education. I mean, just little by little.
Oh, that exactly.
Start growing it.
Yes, sir.
So when you come back from Mexico, what's the first move that you make? Is it?
Well, jump into work, right? I wanted to take the foreign medical graduate exam so I could practice medicine here. But unfortunately, I couldn't. I couldn't pass part one, which was the basic sciences. But I was able to pass parts 2 and 3, which was clinic. 'Cause I love clinic. Clinic's easy. You remember, because you're doing it. But the
hands-on.
But the theory, the anatomy and the physiology, histology, chemistry, blah blah blah. Whew, man. And a funny story though. During that time, there was a lawsuit because there was an American student. I guess he was a senator's son, and he sued the foreign graduate testing association, if you will, because the questions, there's a pool of questions, right, that are chosen for all the medical students, Americans and foreign grads. But the pool is rated. 1, 2, and 3 are the easiest questions. 7, 8, 9, 10 are the hardest. Well, the foreign graduates were found to have 8, 9, and 10 questions, the hardest ones. Right, while the American grads had 1, 2, and 3, the easiest ones, and I was involved kind of in that whole mess because by virtue of being a foreign medical graduate.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what came of that? Did you guys?
Oh, they changed the test. Years later, it took a long time, as court usually does, but they forced them to have. It's no longer the foreign medical graduate exam. It's called the USMLE. Which is just the medical licensing exam.
So everyone who comes
now
to America
everybody
has to
takes
take
the same test. Doesn't matter if you're in the U.S. or if you're in, because you can take the test anywhere around the world.
Oh,
right?
okay.
They have testing centers that you go to, and like the Caribbean, for instance, real popular for Americans to go down there and go to medical school. Those who cannot get in here, right? And that was an option as well. The Caribbean, I could have gone to the Caribbean, but as I said, I was familiar with Mexico, had family down there, so made more sense to go south.
Oh yeah, Mexico's still. I mean, like it's basically the Caribbean. I mean, still a lot of that stuff going on.
Oh, big time!
Right?
Yeah, there's some great stuff down there too, but they also have hurricanes.
Ooh, I can only imagine in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
oh, man,
right. No, thank you.
And then earthquakes too, right? I don't know why, but
well, for us, I know, but I don't know about down there.
Like, is it Haiti? It's right
Oh,
next to
right.
the
Yeah, they've had some
right?
problems.
Oh, damn. I think
That's
they've had like 2
right.
crazy earthquakes within the past like 10 years or something like that. Yeah.
Serious earthquakes.
They must be on like some type of tectonic plate or
Yeah,
something.
they could be.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, as you're, I mean, people get sued. Are you able to take the exam right after? Did you pass it before they actually changed the rules? Or?
No, I didn't. I tried to, but I could not. After a period of time, you can take it again. I ended up taking it 3 times, I think, and I got closer and closer. Problem, but I never quite passed it. And they don't give you your exact score at the time. They probably do now, but at the time it was pass, not pass. So I didn't know if I was 1 point away or 100 points away.
So you didn't know really to work on.
Right, I did not know. You had to study everything again, right? So I said, I need to make a living here while I'm doing this. So I jumped back into construction at the time for the family business.
Family business.
Like I said, my dad had a series of businesses over the years and had some really unscrupulous partners who took him for a lot of money. Finally, in 1977, he approached me and said, hey, look, why don't you take the contractor's license exam and we'll do a partnership kind of thing, right?
Why didn't he just do it himself? If
he didn't feel confident book-wise. Yeah, what ninth grade or 8th grade education, and he just.
So he had. Oh, okay. So he dropped out early, or
he went to work.
So, exactly.
Yeah, he was picking oranges here in.
Which was typical back then.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah,
yes,
very
sir.
typical.
You had to start making money, baby.
And he was like, my son here, he's a graduate from college.
Yes,
Mexico.
take this test.
He's fluent.
And so I did. And I passed it.
Yeah.
Right. And we used it ever since. And I felt that's something I actually felt pretty good about because I told my dad, look, going into partnership, I mean, you've gotten screwed by every partner. I promise you, Dad, I am not going to screw you.
Yeah.
Right. And of course I didn't. And he didn't hurt me either. So that was 77, so many, many years now.
So his construction business, does it, exactly what construction business, was it like just shoveling?
No, it was, we were a concrete contractor, although I ended up getting my general contractor's license as well, but we were a concrete contractor. And You get accounts, right?
Yeah.
Like we got a Jack in the Box account, and our first fast food account was Wiener Schnitzel.
Wow.
And so we did over the 80s, the decade of the 80s, we must have done 40 or 50 restaurants.
So you're the reason for some of these.
Yes.
The one on Harbor too? Boulevard?
Yeah, there's quite a few in Orange County that we did. And I tell Dad, those are gravestones for you, markers, right? Because you built that. And so they're all over.
This,
I say,
yeah.
So
that's so funny because you don't notice that until like oh, I worked on that when you drive by.
Oh yeah,
like, we did that contracting.
And then from Wiener Schnitzel we jumped into Carl's. So we from 80 to 90 pretty much was almost exclusively Carl's. We negotiated. I learned something from a friend. I used to bid like everybody else. You sit and you spend hours creating a concrete bid, and you hope you get the job. But my friend, another very wildly successful guy, retired at 46, a multimillionaire.
Wow.
He said, Lawrence, you need to just go to Carl's. Find, who's the top guy? I said, his name's Wade. And he said, okay, you take Wade to lunch and you tell him that you're just going to give him a negotiated price, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what you got into it. If I can do it for that, I will. And he did. I couldn't believe it. He said, all right, let's just do that. So from there, I was easily able to meet their requirements of as far as how much money, was required. And so, boom, that was, man, for the next 10 years, we did a slew of Carl, San Diego to San Francisco.
Was fast food just an easier route to go to in terms of
yeah.
the contracting?
Oh,
just because they
definitely.
were popping up so much?
Yes, sir. And Carl's only had 4 different buildings, right? At the time. Now they got a ton. But at the time, they had 4, A, B, C, or D. And so we had lumber set up. We had everything, all these little kits. This is for kit A, Carl's. This is for kit B, Carl's. So we would just take all that stuff with us, go to the job, drop it there, and boom, start installing and do our thing. And so, yeah, we got it down. And so we were pretty successful.
And I remember you telling me that you said that was like, was that like your most prominent time of making money? When you
Yes, it was. I had no idea that there was that much money in construction. You're right.
Oh,
small.
Sure.
Like you said, a lot of people do cash, right?
Yeah.
We, apart from the Carls, of course, we always did side other work, and there was one particular general contractor that we worked for quite a bit, and he paid in cash. He would come to the job in the morning. He'd have just a big brown bag, and he'd pull out these stacks of 20s, wrapped 20s, right? And
like a drug dealer.
Oh, dude, it was amazing. And this is an old guy. He was at the time. He was, late 60s, just about at 70. But that's just the way he did business.
Well, yeah, and a lot of that too is it's just easier, right? There's no paperwork involved. There's nothing.
Oh my
people
gosh!
can look at, no tracking. But then you start getting suspicious of stuff like that, though, right?
Oh,
because
yeah.
you
gotta be
carrying
careful.
around that kind of money,
And
right?
you got to declare it, and it's messy. It can be messy.
Yeah. So was it at all? I mean, did you get into anything that's like?
No, you do what you have to do.
Oh, okay.
You make it work,
Make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like us at the dispensary. That's all we deal with is cash. But we make it work.
No, we have to.
We have to.
Otherwise, the government's going to be peering over our shoulder.
Yes, sir.
So
that applies to any business.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, cash is always the way to go. I forgot what I was going to say right now. But so you're making all this money. I'm sure you're living fast right now. You're living.
I'm young and stupid. You're right.
So you're going out, doing
having fun, seeing concerts, just blowing money down. Yeah.
So what's one like the funniest things you did, like while?
Just shows and eating out and stuff, and not too many vacations at that point. It was more about working. I did do a lot of work at the time. In fact, I was looking at this. So eventually I just decided to jump back into the medical or the science thing, you might say. And in 1990, I got a job as a production chemist making drug tests.
Wait, so you're doing this while you're doing construction? While you're doing the construction business? Or?
No, I left construction, right? I thought, no. I have this background in science. I should be doing something, you know.
Is that what pulled you away? Because you're making so much money. At the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, because I felt like that's my calling, health.
Okay.
You know.
So you wanted to help
and there's
people.
I guess you could say I just feel really humanitarian about many issues. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I would like to fix in humanity if possible. And there's zero humanity or humanitarian really in concrete. You know, it's just install it, move on, get your money, move on to the next job, right? And but I guess you're helping the customers, you know. Somehow.
I mean, get fat. I mean,
yeah,
look at the U.S. now. You
but
know?
it's something more healthcare related. Then I feel like, all right, I'm actually making a difference.
Hands-on type of helping.
Sir.
And you said you were a chemist?
Production chemist,
chemist.
for a company that made drug tests. And I think I had mentioned to you, we had these 500-liter containers, plastic containers. And I would get about 500 liters of human urine, which had been screened to be sure it was drug-free. You pour all these in there, you know, screen them all through, filter them, and then you make the urine positive for various types of drugs. LSD, you can make it positive for heroin, for cocaine, for THC, you know, whatever, right?
So you had drugs in this
Oh, yes,
lab.
we did. And it was a two-man operation. Mm-hmm. When I was in there, it was a big safe in the corner, and I had a key and another guy had a key. And so the two of us would go in there and do our thing, open this up and grab. And what it was like extracts, right? There was no cannabis in there. It was like cannabis oil, right? And LSD was a dropper.
Okay.
Right.
Now let's just say, you know, like you're bored one day, and I'm sure you've already smoked weed at this time, right?
Yes.
Was there any taking of like maybe just a little?
Oh no, God no! It was pretty heavily controlled. There was cameras everywhere, even back then, because that was federal.
Oh, okay. So there was no messing around with this stuff.
No way. No, it was very serious.
So you didn't even think of like, man, maybe if I just.
Oh, of course, I fantasized. Yeah. I thought maybe if I dropped it, you know, and it's broken, right? But no, I never. No. Couldn't do that.
That's crazy that they had cannabis oil that far back then.
That far back,
wow.
Yeah. And it was more than anything, it was just, I think, to make it positive. It wasn't like, it was purified, I'm sure, you know, purified extract.
That was straight THC to the brain.
Probably.
If you smoke that, that's
that might have been pretty good. Comparable to probably some of the stuff we had today.
So anything that like I remember you telling me a story about something that happened at the chemist at this drug test place. Man, I can't remember, but it was something about.
I don't know. I enjoyed working there, and I did a lot of the same things that I do at our current job. Right, I would bring in food at Easter or Super Bowl. You know, dogs or waffles for Easter breakfast kind of thing, and.
Okay, so doing this, what led you to your next career move? What was?
After 1 year, they hired me, and then they hired this other guy at the same time, and I'm pretty serious about my work, and this other guy was. He seemed to be doing below average work to me, but he got a promotion.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, there's the writing on the wall, you know.
It's time to go.
It's time to go, yes. And so, but it was funny because I got a nice send-off. You know, there was a professional photographer, guy named Paul, and across from work was a park. It's not far from here. And so most of the staff went out there. We had a barbecue at lunch kind of thing. We got permission to have like a 2-hour lunch. And it was pretty cool. We all got together and took a picture, and then everybody signed it. You know, thanks for the memories, all that jazz.
Yeah, beautiful.
That was pretty cool.
I mean, when we send you off too, I'm sure it's going to be.
That'll be fun.
We're going to hotbox the store. They told me. But so it was a big send off. You had a great. I'm sure, like you said, it was a great time.
It was. And then the next adventure, I saw a job. The company was named Tissue Banks International. They're gone now. They're somebody else. But excuse me, they were looking for doctors to help recover human tissue for transplant or research.
And here we go.
And you would work at the coroner's office.
Well, this is what I wanted to get into for this podcast.
All right,
honestly,
do it.
Because just, like your brush with death almost continuously for these
Daily for 10 years, man. Death.
And it's just so intriguing to me. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's just the generation nowadays or whatnot, but just very intriguing.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, it changed me. Come on, dude.
So initially getting into the first steps of this thing, what are your thoughts when you actually like get into it? I mean, like what intrigued you to be like, this is the job I want to do?
Humanitarian. If I could help somebody to see by getting a cornea, if I could help somebody to walk by getting bones from the leg, the skin that I would take would help burn victims. Okay. Right? And so this kind of the brains were for research to hopefully help Alzheimer's patients.
This is probably the most humanitarian thing you can do, right?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
you've taken things that work on someone and put it in someone that doesn't work on
else. Yes, sir.
It's almost like rebuilding someone else.
It is.
You
bet.
Like, what was it like working there on a day-to-day basis? I mean,
let's see. At times it was just like any other job.
Okay.
When you're doing the administrative, because you had a ton of paperwork, as you can imagine, they had to be able to trace any tissue that you recovered to that particular donor. Okay. Because maybe that donor had hepatitis, right? Because you would always draw blood and send it out, and they would do immediate testing, right?
They have to, right? Because they have to fresh.
Yes, sir.
So okay, let's rewind a little bit. Your first day on the job. You get in, you have you know all the qualifications you have to do, or the priorities you have to. That are what do you call it? The workload you have to.
Yeah.
do for this
Sure.
job, right?
But they don't just turn you loose. You're working with
training,
somebody,
right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I'm sure even training with someone, seeing a dead body open for the first time, or what was your thoughts then?
That wasn't a problem for me because of all the anatomy I had before that. I had years of anatomy in medical school in Mexico. And then during the 90s is when I returned to school, to chiro school. Right. Okay. So I'm working at night basically at the eye bank, and I'm going to school during the day at the chiro school.
Oh, wow.
All right. And I did that for 4 years.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
93 to 97. In fact, just last week, it was 25 years ago that we graduated from Los Angeles College of Chiropractic. Me and a couple, 3 friends that I still hang with.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a pretty crazy thing. But yeah, so like I said, working during the day, and then at night, 2:30 to 10:30 was my shift at the eye bank.
Which is eerie. Right?
Yeah, it can be because you're by yourself and you're in a morgue,
and it's late at night too.
It is late at night, and bodies make wild sounds whenever they want. So yes, it was pretty crazy.
So yeah, no, that's what's so intriguing about it is like, but because like my little sister, she's actually wanted to be a coroner and like a
nice.
Don't have to deal with like dead bodies also, and I just always had a fascination for what actually killed them, but not actually what happens after.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
But I think the most intriguing part is you said it because we just said right now, you said it like changed you. So like how?
Oh yeah,
how
sure.
did working there like just change your overall? Did it change your attitude about life or?
Yeah, a lot of things. That's the first job I ever had working with people who wore guns. Right, because all the deputy coroners, right? Mm-hmm. They all had a gun at all times on the job, and even though they're nice people, and they were just wonderful people, it was pretty cool, having a relationship with them. But I never forgot that they could kill me. So it always was there. Hey, these are cops. Only because of my criminal mentality as a pot smoker, and I've done some crazy stuff. Like most, I suppose.
Do you care to elaborate?
No, actually, that was then. This is now. So, but it involved all kinds of wildness. So
well, yeah. But like you said, they could have killed you. But like, so you had that stigma of pot smoking and being a criminal, but also too, you said that they were wonderful people. Do you think working there like made them appreciate life more too? Do you think they came in with the same attitude?
Oh yeah, I think so. They were there because they were special people. Believe me.
I'm sure
as
you ran into
said.
like some nut job though who was like just enjoyed the darkness, right? Who just kind of thrived in what was going on.
There was one woman who was a nice lady, but she pretty goth, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
She got married on Halloween.
Okay.
She rented a hearse, and her husband arrived at the church in a hearse in separate caskets.
Wow.
Right? So, and she was dressed as the bride of Frankenstein, the black hair with the white going through and stuff,
yeah.
and the black gown and stuff. He was dressed as Frankenstein.
And this was her idea, or was this just...
both. No, they both love
loved
death. They both love the macabre, the darkness.
Good friend of yours, or...
Oh, no, I met her at the coroner's office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm
Nice
saying.
lady, though.
Like, did you end up guys being good friends?
No.
Or is it just a hi-bye type? Or
Yeah, she was an acquaintance,
Okay.
And she helped me, though, on a few scholarly projects that I did. When I wrote that paper, the history paper on chiropractic about the discoverer of chiropractic, she was able, D.D. Palmer was his name, she was able to help me with getting entrance into mortuaries to find this information.
Okay.
Right? She made one phone call and you're in. It's like, thank you.
What a interesting woman. Was there anything that was off about her, or was it just she just really enjoyed the very spooky?
Yeah, she just
lifestyle?
enjoyed that. I think she just enjoyed that's something that made a difference for her. Yeah, but she didn't. In all other aspects, she seemed perfectly legit, normal.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, someone. I don't know. You see someone dealing with that and kind of not maybe not thriving, but really absorbing a lot of it. Because I'm sure when you got home, you had to decompress.
Big time.
Yeah, because dealing with. I'm sure you saw everything, right? Burn victims.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Car
crazy
crashes,
suicides, train wrecks. Whatever happened. I was lucky enough to have missed in the early '80s. There was a plane crash in Cerritos of 747. Right,
wow.
And I forget the dates, but that was. Where it crashed was pretty much Orange County. So, and Orange County, there was only maybe 5 or 6 deputy coroners at any one time. And they didn't have a lot of them. Not like L.A., right? 10 million. So, 10 million people, so they have lots of coroners. But Orange County didn't. And so they had to go out to this plane crash site and try to identify, 150 people, or the remains of 150 people. Of course, they got help from L.A. and other San Bernardino, Riverside. Everybody pitched in, but it was a pretty amazing thing, and I did miss that. That's something that would have been really intense, right?
Yeah, for sure.
125 bodies delivered to the coroner's office, right? I only saw 2 or 3 at the most. If one car accident might take out 2 or 3 people, let's say.
And when you say you missed it, you weren't working there anymore? Or?
No. That happened before I was working there.
Oh, before you were working there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hauling 120 people into a building, that's fucking crazy.
That'd be crazy.
And then I'm sure nothing was working on them, so I don't know if there was a need for being
actually,
there, if there was, or your job.
Actually, there were a few people who were salvageable, you might say.
Wow.
Is my understanding.
What a word for that.
Yeah, I know. That is wild. It's a money thing, Like I said, all these parts we get them from, that's what irked me too, is that we got them as a donation from the family, but we sold them for thousands and thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah, that's a little odd,
That's
right?
not good.
You would think that
left a bitter, bitter taste. But, when I talked to the president of our company, I told him the whole story. I said, man, that's horrible. And he said, hey, we got to have administrative costs to be able to get that tissue. Yeah, I know. That's paying me, right, to go do that, but still.
And when you say your company, were you a third party coming from working for the government? Like working for the city?
No. I worked for a private company, like I said,
Okay.
Tissue Banks International,
Exactly.
TBI, long gone.
And they were contracted by the city of Santa Ana to like come. These tissues.
Well, someone from our company approached the coroner's office and wined and dined, and I'm sure,
Wow.
cut
Just
a
like
deal. Hey,
like a
will you let us
construction
come in
deal or
here?
something, huh?
Because that's totally illegal now. You can't do that anymore. There are 2 or 3 agencies now that get tissue from humans for transplant or research, and now it's on a rotating schedule. One death is for this company, the next death is for the next company, the next death is for the third company, right? So
Well,
they
it should.
rotate.
I mean, something that it should be their way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
sure,
like
sure.
probably wine and dine. It shouldn't be a construction deal, you know.
I know, but yeah, it's a weird thing.
So it left a bitter taste in your mouth, just like I'm sure the way they were doing business. But I mean, that's business in itself. Did it leave a bitter enough a taste where you left, or was it something that you
finally I did, because there were many scandals around 2000. There were a couple of huge scandals in the business of recovering tissue. I forget, some guy in the Midwest, he had like his garage full of bodies. And he was selling them to medical schools and selling them to anyone who was interested in bones. And yeah, it was quite a nightmare.
He was selling the.
He was selling body parts. Yes, he was. And that's really heinous. Come on.
That is very heinous.
That's the bottom.
Disturbing.
Yes, it is disturbing.
That's very greedy.
And so, because he was making a ton of money. Oh my God. I mean, millions, right? Millions.
So he would just take the bodies from that you guys were storing and just be like in contact.
Oh no, where he was in the Midwest, a totally separate thing, right?
Oh, okay. You mean in the whole
in the business itself, correct. Okay. And now I read about that, and I followed it because it was big news at the time. And then there was another smaller one here, I believe in Orange County, where the guy got caught as well selling body parts to certain people. And so I thought, okay, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Okay. I can only imagine. Like
so.
What's after that?
After I left in '97. Let's see. I left in 2000. I worked there 90 to 2000, but I also, as I mentioned, went to school from 93 to 97 at the Los Angeles College of Chiropractic. I graduated in 97, and in 98 I hooked up. Ciordia Chiropractic. And
that's a firm you own.
That's right. That was my company. And I set that up in a building, East West Medical in Fullerton, right? Okay. Orangethorpe and Harbor area. And I worked there for 23 years.
And that was the place you were with the acupuncturist.
It was a multidisciplinary clinic. Yeah. There was an acupuncturist, a cardiologist, a dermatologist, a foot doctor, podiatrist, another chiro with me.
So anything you needed, you kind of just went
one-stop shopping. Area, right? Yeah, one-stop shopping.
I know. And then I know you were telling me about the business, the way the acupuncturist was doing too. Is he was just like a quick and fast.
Oh man, I'm telling you, he's seeing. Yeah. He had 6 rooms. And all 6 rooms were full, right? And he would just go room to room. He'd walk in, read the chart, and then bang, 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 and then next room, right? And then he had somebody who had prepped that for him, and then he had someone who followed him, took all the needles out, and little massage or whatever for the patient, and then boom, they're done.
And then your style, which is I'm assuming, because like I know I work with you at Ease Dispensary, and like your style, it is definitely more patient, more. Fit of needs, like what can I do to help you make this a better experience for both of us?
Beautiful. That's it, man.
Yeah.
I try to live that.
And I feel like that
nice call.
You applied that to your chiropractic.
I did. Yes, I did. I tried.
So being at the Los Angeles Chiropractic Institute, how was that? How was like
that was amazing.
Yeah.
I met a guy there who changed my life, my history teacher.
Okay.
Right?
Is he the one that kind of, were you always this type of like patient, like needy,
no.
like cares for these persons?
That's funny. I'm not sure when that happened, to tell you the truth. There is something that happened years ago. Oh boy, maybe 40 years ago now. My best friend from high school, and let's see, he baptized my son and daughter, I think. No, just my daughter, I think. But anyway, close friend, right? And he ended up dying under really weird circumstances in 1982, right? He was found in a hotel room on Harbor Boulevard with $10,000 in cash and 2 handguns, and he was overdosed.
And he was a priest?
No, just a friend,
pastor?
just a pal. No, just
you said he baptized.
Oh no, yes,
he was.
he was my child's godparent.
Okay.
Godparent, right? He stood there while the priest, did all the things and stuff. Because he was a good friend, and I felt that if anything ever happened to me, he could help her.
And odd, right? That didn't happen. He was kind of caught in like a
something happened. I have no idea.
Right?
I have no idea what happened there.
Wow.
Right. But I do know that the guy was the nicest guy in the world. I was kind of a shitty little punk at the time. And this guy, I swear to God, Damien, he would give you the shirt. You've heard that before, give you the shirt off his back. But this guy would go the distance in ways that I had never seen before, It just blew me away. He was a very kind and selfless person. And somehow I got a feeling a part of his personality may have made a leap into me or something. I don't know, because I wasn't like that. But after he passed away, maybe I realized that, you know what? That's, man.
It's funny that you say that, because when I really looked at people and how they act, and even I know this is a really just extreme version of it, just like wrestling, like WWE wrestling, right? It seems like the heels were always the nicest people outside of the actual organization when they're acting, they're in the thing, or even actors in general when they're usually playing a heel or a villain. Mm-hmm. They seem like the nicest people after, outside of the fact.
Right.
But then the baby faces, the people who we're supposed to cheer for, they seem like the most not friendly people. They seem like the most short-tempered. They seem like the most, and I don't know if that has to deal with being loved so much, and that so much love you just kind of get tired of it. And then the villain getting so much hate that he's just naturally nice to people. So when you tell me that story, it's just really funny that we see that is this guy was so nice, right? He was such a nice, grateful person, but it just seemed like he had something very dark going on.
Oh boy,
behind
something
the scenes, right?
that I had no idea about. I guess.
And then you said that you were just a shitty punk, but it kind of turned you into something.
Oh, completely
better,
different.
Right?
It made me realize that it's not about me.
So it's funny the attitude that just kind of flips, right? When you see something, when you see a good person who has been doing, maybe not, he's not doing bad, but you're not
just
suspecting.
tiny. What I respected about him was the attention to detail.
Okay.
Right, and man, that I guess I took that to the extreme.
After. Okay.
And so I've just tried to, since then, and it was kind of maybe in line with the rest of my science background, if you will. Again, just because, Irvine, man, the UCI, that experience taught me how to think.
Okay,
it really did, and so situations like that with my friend, oh boy, it was a tough time.
And then your friend had died in 82.
Yeah,
in
82.
And then after you had gotten this more softer feel to you, and that's what you took into your chiropractic career, I'm assuming.
Well, no, that's something I took with me. Oh, you bet.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to treat these patients
they're going to remember you for the rest of...
I hope so.
Yeah.
Maybe I spoiled some of them. I have talked to only one or two, and one said that I was a tough act to follow, and I just laughed at that. That was a funny statement, because I would spend 1 hour with these patients, right?
Of course, yeah.
And most chiros, it's 7 to 10 minutes maybe. You get in, bang, 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 and you're
Wow.
done. But I would, chat and let them relax because, you come in. For me, I can only gauge it on what I feel. But when I go to the doctor, I'm a little tense and nervous before the doctor walks in, you know, and then you get going, break the ice, whatever. And so I would take that ice breaking period maybe to an extreme and give them, 10 minutes just to decompress and let go. And then when they were relaxed, that's helping me to relax too, right?
Of course. Yeah.
And they're better patients when they're relaxed. They're not fighting the treatment as I'm trying to, adjust something or do massage work on them. Oh no, it's win-win.
Oh, it's like a psychology thing.
De-stress. It is. Yeah. You wear many hats. You're not just a chiro.
Well, the fact that you can do that and you're able to break people down like that, or just break a general population down like that, because like you are right, when more people are comfortable, they're less tense. It's probably easier to work on them.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, and then is that something you learned at the actual chiro school? Like, hey, or is it just something you just
they give
implemented
you
yourself?
the basics, just like medical school. You read all these books and you get an idea of what you're supposed to do in a certain situation. But oh man, it's the first thing you learn out in the field is that it's not like the books. I mean, it's oh god, yeah. Being in an ER, for instance, in Mexico City was just a nightmare. It's the closest thing I'll probably ever get to warfare. Because they were bringing in stabbings and gunshots and just all kinds of crazy crap all night when I was doing my internship there.
I can only imagine. My mom works at St. Bernardine's. She's a RN in the ER, and it's just the same thing. It's like a warfare. People coming in cussing at you.
Yes, sir.
People come in insulting you. You're trying to help them.
You're trying to help them. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
That's just insulting. That's funny. Speaking of that, just reminded me of John B. A customer walks in, and both of us are behind the counter there, and both, of course, good morning or welcome. He doesn't say a word. Big dude, right? He's looking around. He looks, and I'll take that one. Okay. So then John takes him over to check him out, and he's being very kind and this and this and that. And the guy, I don't know. It was just not he was, I guess, being kind of a jerk in his own way. But, John and I talked about it. And we never know where those people are coming from, But like you said, more than likely, I felt like that guy was feeling entitled. You're just a bud tender. Get your ass over here. Give me that bud there, and I'm leaving.
Yeah, you work for me.
You work for me.
And that just goes back to like the hospital. I mean, you're trying, like, these people are dying, and you're trying to prevent them from dying.
Right.
A lot of them with drugs too.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of them with
drugs are generally involved.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much every other Friday, which was Payday. Right, for the area. We knew that every other Friday was going to be really busy.
Just because there was a party going on or something.
Well, because it was Payday.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
So
and they would go
partying.
drinking, and they'd go doing all kinds of crazy crap, and then others, if a full moon was also bad. But then if a full moon fell on a Payday. Wow. I mean, it was shoot 'em up time.
Great night, yeah. That's so funny that you say that, because like I just hear stories that my mom told me, and I just like, man, that just resonates so much with.
Oh, nice. Yeah, understood.
Where were we before that? Chiro school.
Lots of experiences in chiro school. My mentor.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. His name was Joe Keating, Joseph C. Keating Jr. And with excuse me, the chiropractic curriculum in the state of California requires at least 2 semesters, I think, of chiropractic history. It might be 1 now. But you got to know who invented your profession. You got to know the big guys. Come on. There were you're standing on many shoulders, okay, as a chiropractor, right? Early chiros went to jail for supposedly practicing medicine, but they weren't. They were adjusting. But the AMA had them arrested for practicing.
And why was that? Why would they have?
Well, the AMA was afraid of chiropractic coming on and being equal, which they never would, I don't think. They haven't yet. They're trying, but we are trying.
You guys are trying to be equals?
Oh, yeah, sure. Many chiros want to be considered primary care physicians, right? But really, we're not. Having experienced medical school and chiro school, there's a lot of, this was back in the 90s, though. There's a lot of material in the chiropractic curriculum that does not go into very much depth, right? Like when we talked about the kidneys, right? The urogenital system in chiropractic school, it was like one semester or something. And I talked to the president of the school. I said, hey, I had a couple of years of this stuff in medical school.
Wow.
I mean, how in the hell can we do one semester of it?
Yeah, in chiro.
And he says, well, we don't really need to know that, essentially.
And you're like, what do you mean you don't need to know that?
Yeah, you need to know all about the spine and, what it can affect. And a cursory, knowledge of the rest. And it's like, oh, shoot. No, this is no good. So, but, I had that advantage, fortunately, having studied the human body before. And so, I just went with it. It's like, okay, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But you really should know something about the rest of the body.
I would assume because your spine
but they do.
translates
it's just
to the
not
rest
the
of your
depth,
body.
That's all. It's just not the depth.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I can't consider a chiropractor a primary care physician. They haven't done surgery, done a rotation where for months, you're participating in surgical procedures, right? So I think that's part of being a primary care physician too. Wound care. Chiros don't know how to suture.
Okay.
I mean, and we can't give antibiotics for wounds because we can't write prescriptions for those, right? At least in California. I believe in Arizona you can.
As a chiropractor?
Right. As a chiro, you have limited prescription writing abilities in Arizona. That includes anti-inflammatories and some antibiotics. And that's cool. I love that.
Yeah. And that's in their field of knowledge, though, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, I'm going to give you some medicine, some codeine for your cold or your cough.
Right.
like
yes.
that, right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. So that's crazy that you're kind of like all these people are for like, let me be a primary. You're just like, no, hold on, guys. We're not there yet.
Well, we're getting there, though.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. They are getting better. And in the 20 years since I graduated, or 25 years, hopefully.
You think it's going to lead to something where we can have chiropractors as our primary care physicians?
Yes, because there's such a shortage, is my understanding, of primary
doctors.
care physicians, MDs, right? They're not staying primary care. They're jumping right into dermatology, or they're jumping into cosmetic surgery, or they're specialties that pay huge amounts of money.
Okay.
Right? Primary care, 60, 80 grand, maybe 90 grand a year.
But with that, since you have to go through, you went through 4 years of chiropractic school, right? Mm-hmm. But then you would have to do more schooling then, right? If you were going through chiropractic school, I mean, you did all the schooling already.
Yes.
But as a chiropractor wanting to be an MD, you're going to have to.
Oh yes, if you did the reverse, I did
it
it one way, right?
Yeah.
I did it with getting a medical degree first, then the chiropractic degree second. But you're right. Some chiropractors say, wait a minute, I can help patients even more if I had a medical degree. So after they graduate, they go back to school.
They get their medical.
Or there was one woman in our class who she was enrolled in 2 programs, in the chiropractic program and acupuncture at the same time.
Wow.
And so when she graduated, she had dual degrees, acupuncture and chiropractic.
You can get a degree in acupuncture?
Complementary and alternative medicine is what it's called, yes.
Oh, okay. It's like hot rocks. Is that the
Yes, all kinds of
deal?
many. Massage, just adjusting, basically. I was talking to a friend about that, the whole comparison. Acupuncturists here, they go to school 3 years. My friend that I worked with in Fullerton, right, the acupuncturist I was telling you about, he went to school for 12 years. to become an acupuncturist. Over there, traditional Chinese medicine is not just acupuncture, not just needles. It's also massage. There's something called Tui Na, which is akin to chiropractic. In fact, there are theories that there were Chinese laborers who were working on the American Railroad who were practicing Tui Na, adjusting themselves. And the guy who discovered chiropractic saw that.
Yeah.
He saw these Chinese people, hitting the spine and twisting the neck, and he maybe incorporated that into his own thing and called it chiropractic. I mean, we don't know.
He's made it his own, basically.
Right.
Do you mind if we take a break? I have to go to the bathroom.
Take a break and that was a real positive experience. And once again, it was fun because I remember anatomy lab, and a lot of the students were looking at these dead bodies like, nobody wanted to make that first cut.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so I'm looking, and I said, hey,
Give
me that thing, baby. Let's get busy here. Whoop, and I make the traditional,
Ripped them wide open.
cut, and away we go, man. And that broke the ice.
What did it feel like, though, cutting into someone for the first time?
Oh, no, that was, like I said, I could do it because I had cut into people so many times.
And this happened when you were a chiropractor?
Yes, chiropractic school. You have to have 2 years of anatomy.
Okay. So you were just all...
So you do anatomy lab. Right. You're identifying... Where did we start? Yeah, chest. We started with the chest and then identified everything, inside the thorax area, and then worked our way out. You're doing all the muscles, all the bones, all the nerves and blood vessels from everywhere, basically.
And everyone was like, wow, the precision, this guy knows what he's doing.
Well, you gotta, you're just kind of slicing and dicing and removing, because you have lists. So, right, find this, find this nerve, find this artery, find this vein. So
and you were just pulling things out, because you were working at the coroner's office too, right?
Right, but you got books and, how to, right? It should be right here. Oh, okay, this must be it. Just slice it all up, whatever you needed to do. But that was fun.
You're the man.
Was a good time. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
We were talking about acupuncturists too during.
Yes, my friend.
And how the Chinese were. Because it's funny that you say that, because you actually went to China to talk about chiropractic.
I did with the same guy, my friend from East West Medical.
And you guys, what city did you guys end up going to actually talk?
We went to Taipei in Taiwan.
Taipei.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then, we went there in 2009 and 2010. And, it was nice. It was a nice thing. It was fun. And it was amazing to experience something like that, with all these doctors. There were about 250 doctors.
Not U.S., they're all foreign,
No,
right?
all practicing there. And they want to know, what is this chiropractic thing?
Oh, so this is a new thing that's just come out.
Well, for them, they don't know.
okay.
Really, they've read about it, of course, and they've seen stuff. YouTube's everywhere. But it's nice to have a one-on-one with an American chiropractor.
Yeah, and I'm sure it must have been an honor, too. I mean, someone brought you there to talk in front of many
It was
people,
weird. It
right?
was strange. Yeah, they gave me all kinds of... I've got, crystal thing. Thank you, Dr. Ciordia, for this presentation,
Why was it weird? You didn't feel like some type of...
Oh, no. It was... I was well out of my comfort zone, right?
Okay.
If you will, because everything was radically different. First of all, it was like a 16-hour flight. And so
for sure.
I'm just wasted, right? And we only had a day or so to recuperate. We got there, I think, on a Thursday. And then the lecture was Saturday, Sunday, right?
Okay.
And so...
Yeah, so you didn't feel like... when you were talking to these people, was it the oohs and the ahs? Like, oh, that's how you do it? Because
no,
the way you were talking is talking about the Chinese who did the railroads. Was that something that was developed in China in America? The Chinese in America?
That's traditional Chinese medicine.
Yeah, and
Tui Na. But there are many aspects, as I was saying, to acupuncture is one, Tui Na is another. Herbs, you got to have herbs. The whole yin yang. You want the person to be in harmony right? Mind and body should be working together.
Yeah.
Right.
But the tui na is something that was...
That's the physical part. That's the adjusting. That's the like physical therapy or chiropractic.
Well, them there is, are they already thinking that...
if it was necessary.
Are they already thinking that, oh, we already know this? Or is this, like, because you said this Taiwan, so close to China that tui na is it practiced there?
Yes. Oh, big time. Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
What was the difference between, like, tui na and chiropractic? I mean, obviously the detail.
Positional, I think. Yes. It was more technical.
Okay.
The technical aspects of it. The setup, the goal was the same. To manipulate the spine and the bones, right? The joints. But just how we did it in the U.S. versus how they did it there. That was, so.
Yeah, wow.
It was amazing. And
Taiwan.
The food was wonderful. The food was out of this world.
You were treated like a king there, right?
Yes, I was. It was fantastic.
God, just being American, too, right there. I mean,
it was a pretty positive experience, from that perspective. I went to there's a restaurant. They have some here now, Din Tai Fung. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's a Chinese dumpling restaurant. And there's one, the number one, I think, is in Taiwan. And we went there, and it was superb. Really, really tasty. Probably the best dumplings I've ever had. They have them here, but they're not, I don't think they're made by Chinese. So it's different.
Okay. Yeah, and then I remember you telling me a story about being with the head of the guy who actually invited you.
Oh yeah, to the chiropractor. Who put the promoter, I guess.
You drank all his tea.
Yes, I did, and that was fun. I didn't realize what I was doing. I really didn't,
So he ended up telling me a story about how he went to the promoter of it all, and he actually was drinking what, like you said, super expensive tea.
Yes, very, very pricey. Unbelievable. I had no idea, really. I'm just kind of a Philistine when it comes to that kind of stuff. But later, of course, I, apologized to the guy. And he, oh, no, are you kidding? No, did you like it?
Yeah,
I loved it,
of course. Yeah, I had 8 cups.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Delicious.
Do you guys still talk to this day, or is it?
I haven't talked to him for a while. I have a mutual friend, though, who does keep in contact with him over there.
Okay. So. And he's only in Taiwan, or has he ever come over to the U.S.?
He comes over to the U.S., but he travels mostly in the East. India, Malaysia, Singapore, I think.
Is he a big chiropractor? Like, does he have his
promoting?
Doctor,
he just promotes the profession. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. What does he do for an actual living? Did you end up finding out?
Well, he does traditional Chinese medicine, and he also adjusts people. He doesn't have a chiropractic degree, but he does adjust people.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
But he calls it chiropractic because then he gets customers who are looking for chiropractic, not tui na.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like my friend in Fullerton, I asked him about tui na because I said, God, you got, 4 years of that? And I've never seen you adjust anybody. Mm-hmm. And he said, too much work. And I said, yeah, well, tell me about it, right? It is.
So after the whole Shanghai trip, you come back to the U.S., and what's the next move there? Are you still practicing?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, absolutely. I was, let's see, that was, as I said, in about 12 years ago now. God, hard to believe. But I was still working at Ciordia Chiropractic, East West Medical. That was an interesting experience. Oh, in 2000 and 2001, when I left the coroner's office, the first place that I went to was a community center in Santa Ana. And they were looking for an HIV director of services, basically. And so I worked for 1 year because funding, after that year, they didn't get funding for the next year. So I got let go.
HIV director. So I think you had told us about this. My girlfriend is very intrigued by it. You
nice.
went up north, right? And
we went to Big Bear. Had
like a camp.
Yeah, it's like a camp Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where we gave lectures about safe sexuality.
Okay.
We demonstrated how to use a condom. Just all kinds of, foams, dental dams, all kinds of crazy stuff.
And these are HIV patients?
They are
HIV
HIV patients, or they're Latino gay males infected or affected by HIV.
Okay, how was that experience actually going up there?
Astounding. It was amazing. I wished that my Spanish was better. I mean, I get by, but it would have been helpful to be, far more fluent than I am. Because some of the stuff, I would let them talk anyway. Fortunately, like most American Mexicans, I understand way better than I can speak it, right? And so when they're telling me their stories, oh man, I'm understanding, right? And definitely, okay, I got it.
Yeah, was there anyone that stood out there that you actually met? Anybody in particular?
Well, there was one woman, I think I had mentioned her to you, not so much, it was the circumstances, because, God, every one of these is just heartbreaking. All of these stories are just crazy, right? But once again, I'm doing the humanitarian thing in my mind. I'm thinking, all right, I'm helping my fellow human get through this day, Mm-hmm. But this woman came in, and she had some test results. She's Mexican, doesn't speak English, right? Only Spanish. She says, hey, look at this. What does this mean? And I said, okay, this means that you're HIV positive, right? And she said, that's impossible. She said, I only sleep with my husband. I said, okay, well, can you get any way to get your husband in here? With or without you would be fine. I just need to talk to him. She said, yeah. So I was able to contact him. And he says, I'm bisexual. All right, I sleep with guys and I sleep with girls. And I sleep with my wife. And I said, okay, well, I'm betting that you are HIV positive, right? Have you been tested? No. We need to test you. Immediately, right? And they have a choice. No, and they can just walk right out. And it's up to you to be able to convince them otherwise. Please, don't be a vector. I mean, don't spread this anymore. You have control of this disease. You can stop it right here, or at least we can contain it. So
was he very reluctant at first? Or?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
he said, "How I don't want my wife to know about any of this." Well, look, man, that's not my problem. My problem is getting you taken care of and understanding what you're doing. You're the tip of the pyramid,
And so he tested, obviously positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you? Were you there with the interaction with his wife and the husband?
Eventually.
Wow. Yeah. How did that go down?
Not very well. I
could imagine. Happy, I could imagine. I mean that's heartbreaking to think you love someone so much and they're out doing business. Like that.
That's part of being human. Humans are funny.
Oh yeah, for sure. We are the craziest. I don't know. We're just some things people do and. Yeah, but
man is a bad animal.
Naturally, right? So that camp you went up to, she was up there, or was it the the man you went up to?
The husband.
He actually went up to the camp.
Yes, and we were able to talk with him and his colleagues there. Like I said, there was 2 busloads, I think, at least, if I recall.
2 busloads. Wow.
Yeah, so there was about 50 people, I think. I think it was 50.
And the entire time at the camp, are they pretty? I don't know. How was the whole atmosphere? I guess.
Apprehensive at first. People were kind of nervous, a lot of anxiety. But then once we got up there and got out and unpacked and relaxed a bit, people were, a little bit more. Willing to talk and
and these camps were like these camps. You weren't required to go there, right?
No, it was all voluntary. All voluntary. But that I got hired on, I think Wednesday and Thursday we left. Right?
Oh, here we go.
So I had no idea what was going on. I was just supposed to shepherd everything and everybody, keep control. And okay, fine. I think I can do that.
Wow, what a crazy. So you said every Thursday. So you would head up there every.
Oh no, just weekend. That we would do them once a month. We would do them like once a month. And even then it stopped. Like I said, everything is contingent on the budget. If the budget will allow it, you do it. If it doesn't, you're done.
And do you think that camp was something that should have been funded more?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think we got very positive results from that.
Okay.
Definitely. But it was, like I said, a pretty special team. You know, I had 4 guys, and each one of them was pretty specialized. There was a chef and 2 dancers and a 4th-year seminary student who discovered that he was gay.
Wow.
And got HIV.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't imagine. No, I just feel bad for these people.
Oh, all of them.
That's
Oh,
terrible.
of course. But through them, they were the tip of the pyramid. And through them, we were able to reach, lots of
Many
people.
Yeah.
At one time, I knew the location of every gay bar in Orange County because I'd have to go there and hand out free condoms and hand out whatever.
Due diligence.
Yes,
Florence.
sir. And just, hey, please practice safe sexuality,
Come on, guys.
right?
Yeah. Have a camp. I don't want you to be there. You know.
Put a helmet on it, soldier.
Wow, that's so funny. And were you doing chiropractic while you were doing this? Is this just something you were doing?
In 2000, yeah, no, I don't think that I was. No, wait a minute, I was, yeah, but I think I was only doing the
Using
chiro
part-time.
thing like once a week on Saturdays, because I work Monday through Friday.
Did you have someone working for you doing the handling the
Oh
things?
no, no, the office staff there at East West, they would do. The deal was, I would give them 50%, and they would do all of my paperwork, and that was rent for the space.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, it worked out fine. It was okay. I never made much there anyway. I mean, that's not.
Seems like you were just
why
doing
I
your
was there.
humanitarian
That was
duties.
fun. It was good. As we mentioned, coming full circle, I reached quite a few lives. I think
Oh, I think so, man. I think
pretty
just,
cool.
I mean,
they got some relief. I couldn't help everybody, of course, but those who did get some relief were grateful, and that was a beautiful thing. I can't even tell you.
well, relief everywhere too. I mean, like your whole life has just been about that, you know. Like, I mean,
Trying.
the coroners, you were donating or you were taking out organs to help donations, even though it didn't go exactly the way you were planning it to go. You know, you were doing your best as to
Yeah.
Get it
Oh,
towards
yeah.
that.
No, I still made
Yeah.
a difference. Like I said, I used to get letters from people, anonymous, of course, but thank you, doctor, for doing what you did.
Of course.
I can
Yeah.
see now. I can walk now, or whatever. And it's like, that's an amazing thing.
You know, it's funny too, though. It's like seeing a lot of this, like a lot of the things you've done. It just always it has a little bit of darkness to it too. It's just like the whole thing about going up. Like, yeah, you're dealing with gay men, but these gay men have HIV, which is very
Right.
dark. You're
Oh,
dealing
yeah.
with donating tissue and stuff like that.
Somehow death has been a common thread throughout my whole life.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
And why do you think that is? Is that something that you seem to be not attracted to, but
That I
it's
don't
something
know.
that'd be a part of your life?
Just
or?
a part of my life, yeah.
Wow.
I made some choices, I guess, that
Is it because like you don't mind it either? Is that something you're very?
I guess not. After the coroner's office, that changes your perspective on so many different things.
Not only changes your perspective, but keeps you desensitizes you from a lot of things too, right?
Yeah, it could. Or it can. But that's up to you. It's up to you to whatever you want to experience from there. But it just taught me humility, no question about that. It taught me how short our lifespan can be, potentially, and to enjoy every minute. Warren Zevon, great musician, Werewolves of London was a hit for him. When he was dying on his bed from cancer, he said, enjoy every sandwich. And I thought, wow, yeah, okay, man, I got it. Keep it simple. Even the simple things have tremendous value.
Wow. I feel like that's something I need to adopt because I'm living a little fast and a little overwhelming right now. But being young, I think that's something that I'm supposed to kind of have.
How so? I'm sorry. Not my intention.
Oh, no, I know.
Just throwing it out there.
But, I don't know. I guess it's just more of the like I don't know, like not the stigma. Maybe just I had old school parents and stuff like that where you weren't allowed to be tired. You had to do things XYZ, and I guess they didn't really live a life of very appreciating it all that much because they had things going on or they had businesses and things were just moving so fast for them that I think that they kind of had that they pushed that on me a little bit, like like you need to get things done, things need to be fast, things need to be quick, you need to get over with retirement, and I'm already getting hassled about retirement, and I mean I should be, but like at the same time it's like I'm 25 years old, I got another 25 years. I mean
you do, but it'll be here tomorrow, my friend. I promise you.
So life's short then too.
You. Please prepare, because
of course
goes fast.
Of course, yeah.
Scary fast.
Wow.
I can't believe I'm 64, man. It's just a mind blower. One of my best friends and my best friend, they're both turning 70 next year. They just turned 69. And I've known these guys since they were in their 20s, right?
Wow, 50 years.
So, yeah, they're super tight pals, right? And it's amazing to see that. Of course, like I said, I'm right behind them at 64. I'll be 65 in November, but I just remember all of us in our 20s and, hiking and biking and doing all kinds of crazy crap, being young and enjoying it. And so it's just interesting to see us as we get older, and you don't think of it as going that fast, but it's just a blink.
It's going to.
Boom, gone. So
enjoy
every sandwich, please.
Okay. Thanks, Lawrence. We got about an hour and a half done. I don't know if you really have anything else you want to...
wait a minute. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, the last thing, 2019 to 2022, Whedon/Ease Dispensary Guest Service Associate. Now,
Beautiful.
That has been an amazing experience for me. Mm-hmm. It's something in high school I dreamt about. I fantasized that one day I'm going to be able to walk into a building. I'm 17 years old, for God's sake. I'm going to walk into a 7-Eleven, and I'm going to be able to just put money, and I'll take this one, Acapulco Gold, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wrote when I was at Loyola, I took a speech class in 76, and the first speech I talked about was the decriminalization of cannabis.
Wow.
And my teacher was blown away.
Early activist.
Yeah, oh man. He says, you ever read High Times? And I said, oh yeah, every month, come on, man. It was pretty cool to talk to him.
Wow.
I wonder whatever happened to that guy. He was a nice fellow. Professor Schnell.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then cannabis you've been using, obviously, since you were in high school.
73 or so. So it'll be 50 years next year. So 49 years I've been smoking. So I don't know whether to be proud of that or embarrassed or what.
I mean, to all the people out there who says it makes you lazy and not want to work, I mean, obviously there's a contradiction.
There are exceptions to everything.
Exactly.
Come on, you know that. There are exceptions.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I first met you, I always thought you were very peculiar,
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was always like, wow, he's really laid back. He's not, because I'm used to dealing with older people, more aggressive, more.
Oh, really?
Just more straightforward, more. Kind of like John, I guess, the security guard. More,
right.
More uptight. Stuff like that.
A little more structured.
Yeah, exactly. But with you, it was different because you didn't really see. Well, even the people that come into work. I mean,
old man.
Some of them are just like really like, oh man.
Oh, I know. That's what I told Angela and Bree. I said, hey, we need some more estrogen in this place. There's just too much testosterone floating around, Yeah. And they just started laughing. Yeah, no, we got it.
And it was always funny to see that like you were just the complete opposite of that. Because like it just seemed like you were.
I get my job done though.
No, of course. It's not about not getting your job done. It's just more about like your attitude towards everything. You're laid back. You're not worried about what's going on next or
my friend.
Customers.
Well, that goes back to maybe seeing death so often. Is that this is nothing.
Exactly.
I can't. Well, Vic, she had said one time when I'm cleaning up. I'm sweeping up the floor, and she says, there you go, Lawrence. Always doing the hard jobs, right?
Exactly.
And I laughed at that, and I thought, yeah, well, you know what? I've done worse things, like, cut up human bodies, So sweeping the floor, I'm okay
Not
with
that big a
that, right?
But that's cool too. Is like you don't take that as an entitlement though. Like most people, I feel like most people would use that as like I shouldn't have to sweep the floor. Like I've done this my whole life. I've experienced things my whole life.
No,
but you
there's
have a
honor in
very
sweeping that floor.
You have
friend.
a very different attitude about this whole entire
sweeping
thing.
that floor is as important as selling in my mind.
Yeah.
The floor, the place, image, sadly, is everything. Okay.
Yeah.
If I was a customer and I walked in there and I saw dirty floors or fingerprints all over the glass, come on. No, that's no good. That's reflective on us. Hey, they're not going to say it, of course, but
they're definitely
you bud tenders.
Yeah.
Maybe you could clean this up.
I see you standing around. You might as well do something.
So no.
I get it, Lawrence. I'll clean the glass tomorrow. All right?
Yeah. Excuse me. But no, it's I just, like I said, I take it personally, and I don't. That's no good. Let's clean the place up and keep
Beautiful.
it looking good. Because if as I said, I can only use myself as an example. I would walk in and this is a clean place, right? Everything looks good, and we do by and large. I think
so.
we keep that place looking pretty good. I don't know. We're being watched on cameras. We're not getting any feedback. So who in the hell knows how we're doing really? Someday they'll have another staff meeting, I'm sure. And so we'll find out then.
Yeah.
But the adventure has just been incredible. And I'm sorry that I came to it so late in my life, but I'm grateful that I came to it so late in my life. At least I got the opportunity. Like I said, I'm pinching myself some days that I'm really here. I'm selling, I'm on the other side, I mean, I'm not looking over my shoulder for anybody when I'm selling anything, It's like, wow, cool, no cops or anything. And it's pricey, of course.
When you first got there, was that like that
was my first question to Sarah. I said, do we have a company attorney? In the event that the feds go strong arm, I said, I'm going to jail, and I have professional licenses that I would like to protect. I said, I have my own attorney. Right. So, but I just was wondering if we do. And she said, yeah, well, there's a group who's a co-owner of Whedon. And so, yes, you're covered. And I said, okay.
Wow.
We never gotten any problems. So,
No, of course. It's licensed. We're all set.
We're good. But, and besides, there's 7 or 8 or 9 other dispensaries within a mile of us.
Exactly.
So they go after them as well.
But yeah, it's been a joy working with you for sure. I mean,
thank you, my friend. I just try to do what I can. Morale means a lot,
Mm-hmm.
If you've got happy employees, they're going to work maybe a little bit more efficient.
Yeah,
right?
I like that. Yeah.
So you want to keep them happy, and it doesn't take much. Come on, man, a meal here or there, some kind of pastry once in a while, just something to break up that monotony, if you will, because we do the same thing over, and even though our guests change every day, even though our guests change every day, what we do is pretty much the same. We wait on customers and then we clean the place up, right? And so,
do you think that if this industry was alive during your time, do you think that you would have gotten into it?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I would have loved to somehow, even if it was part-time like this.
Wow.
But it's interesting. I just wanted to get my foot in the door, and I never saw an opportunity for it, really, to go legal, right? I got plenty of jobs if I wanted doing illegal stuff, illegal grows, right?
Of course.
But this was legal, in California, and that's...
How did you end up getting the job? Like, what was your process?
I saw an ad on Indeed, I think, from Whedon.
Were you just looking for a new job or looking for something part-time?
I was looking for this job.
Oh, so you said, I want to be a bud tender.
Yes, I do. I do. And when I filled out a resume, sent it in, and then I got a call. This was August of 19. And I went in there, and I met with Sarah. And I think I had mentioned to you, I had a binder of all the stuff that my resume and, just curriculum vitae, all the information about me. Hoping to sell her that, hey, take a shot on an old guy, right? I'll deliver. I'm telling you. And she said, well, you're applying for a bud tender. But she said, you know what? I just hired 4 bud tenders today. I need delivery drivers. And I said, I can't do delivery.
Yeah.
She said, okay, well, I guess I hired 5 bud tenders today.
Wow.
So I said, okay. I said, well, here, would you like to look at this? And she said, no, you're hired. And I said, okay, well, all right. So, yeah, it was a weird, it was kind of matter of fact, kind of like, no, come on in, And I thought, oh, my God, whoa.
Yeah, when she got let go, that kind of was like, ooh.
Oh, no, it was horrible, but that's just business.
Yeah.
Come on. It's...
well, that was the only person really, because Ease was going to make their changes no matter what.
Absolutely. They're going to bring in their own people.
And she was like the thing that, I don't know, our backbone, I guess.
Oh, she was glue, baby. She kept us all together.
Exactly.
No, I love Sarah. She took a chance, and hired me. So I'm glad she did.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that was very nice of her to do that. I'm happy. And I told her when she got let go, if you wind up in the cannabis industry again, let me know. If you need help with something, I'll leave this job, to go help you.
That's what's up. You're the man, Lawrence.
She was a nice person.
Yeah. Well, it's been an hour and a half. I think
done.
That's
Thank
good
you
for the first episode. I mean,
right.
Many more to come, and I really appreciate you coming on here because.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, it's great to hear your story, and I'm sure we can elaborate on more of this later because I think we've got through your timeline, but now I think the next one, more details.
Individual aspects of each, and there are many. Each one of those is years of experience doing something.
Yeah, and it just made you to the person you are today.
It did.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And the death thing certainly shaped me into the person that I am today. You're right. And I've thought of that in the past. I'm just glad to be here, and I'm glad all of us are at work, when we're there. And
awesome, and I'm glad people can hear your story too. Honestly,
yeah, we'll see. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Signing off. This is Couch Surfing.